Hey guys, I am Vikash for Skyline Motions and welcome to this brand new video. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to create a cinematic title animation inside of Davinci Resolve 16. So without any further ado, let's take a new project and get started. Alright, so click on this new project and let's call it cinematic title and click on create. And now let's do some basic settings. So click on this setting button and set the size of this project 9020 by 1080 and set this frame rate 30 fps and set this playback frame rate 30 fps and click on save. And now I'm going to create cinematic title animation inside of this Fusion tab. So we have to take a new Fusion composition. So right click on this media pool and click on this new Fusion composition and I'm going to call it Fusion comp and set the duration of this composition maybe 5 seconds long and set this frame rate 30 and click on create. And drag this Fusion composition on this timeline like that and then go to your Fusion tab. And here we have our media out node. So just drag this over here. And now let's create a black background. So click on this background button to add a background node and drag this background to this viewer 1 and let's rename it. So hit F2 on the keyboard to rename and let's call it BZ and hit OK. And now let's convert this BZ into a 3D layer. So press Ctrl plus a space bar on the keyboard for search box and search for image plane 3D. So this is our image plane 3D node, or you can also click on this image plane 3D button to add a image plane 3D node. And let's attach this background with this image plane 3D and drag this image plane 3D in this viewer 1. And now hold Alt and middle mouse button to rotate this viewport in 360 and hold Ctrl and scroll up to zoom in and scroll down to zoom out and hold middle mouse button only and drag this to pan left, right, top and bottom. Alright, now let's take a new merge 3D node. So click on this merge 3D button and add a merge 3D node and attach this image plane 3D with this merge 3D and drag this merge 3D on this viewer 1. And now let's take a camera. So click on this camera 3D and connect this camera 3D with this merge 3D. And let's call it main cam. So hit F2 on the keyboard and hit OK. Alright, now drag this merge 3D in this viewer 2 and let's hide this grid. So right click on this, go to 3D option and uncheck this grid and right click again and go to camera and change this perspective view to camera view. Okay, and select this camera and go to this viewer 1 and drag this camera in G space and set this camera like that. And now right click on this flow window and go to arrange tool and check this box to turn on the grid snapping. So that will help you to keep these node clean and organized. So set it like that. All right. And now we have to create a smoke kind of effect. So we have to take a new fast noise node. So hit Ctrl plus a space bar for search box and search for fast noise. So this is our fast noise. Hit add button and let's call it smoke. Hit OK and drag this smoke over here. And now drag this smoke in this viewer 1 and let's enable alpha and let's create a smoke kind of effect. So select this smoke and go to this inspector tab and set this detail value maybe 10 and set this scale 3. Hit enter and now as you can see it's a still image. So let's animate this sheath value. So right click on this sheath, click on this expression and let's type a time expression. So I'm going to type time multiply by 0.005 and hit enter. And let's play this again. So as you can see, it's looking like a smoke. And now let's set this brightness and contrast. So set this brightness maybe negative 0.8, hit enter, and set this contrast value maybe 0.5 and hit enter. And now let's change this alpha to color and create a duplicate of this image plane 3D. So select this, hit Ctrl C to copy and paste it over here by pressing Ctrl V. And let's attach this smoke with this image plane 3D and connect this image plane 3D with this merge 3D. Okay, and let's arrange it like that. All right, so as you can see, it's looking something like that. Now we have to create a light over here. So let's take a new background node. So click on this background button and let's call it light 1. So hit F2 on the keyboard and rename it to light 1 and hit OK, and drag this light over here and let's add a circular mask with this. So select this light 1 and click on this ellipse tool and add a ellipse mask like that and drag this ellipse to this viewer. And let's change the color of this background node. So pick a blue color and select this ellipse and set it like that and place it over here. All right, and then go to this inspector tab and set this soft edge maybe 0.4, hit enter and set this border width 0.2. So it's looking something like that. And now let's convert this 2D light into a 3D layer. So let's paste another image plane 3D by hitting Ctrl V and connect this light 1 with this image plane 3D and connect this image plane 3D with this merge 3D. All right, so it's looking like that. And now let's create another light. So just select these three nodes, hit Ctrl C to copy and paste it over here by pressing Ctrl V. And now let's change the color of this light. So select this light and change this color to red and let's call it light 2. Hit OK and connect this image plane 3D with this merge 3D. All right, and select this ellipse and set it over here. All right, now we have to create a text. So click on this text button to add a text node and drag this text in this viewer 1 and let's type a text whatever we want to type. So I'm typing Davinci and choose your favorite font style. So in this case I'm using sui generis. So this is our sui generis font style, and of course you can choose any font style that you want. And let's set the size of this font maybe 0.14 and hit enter. And now we have to animate this text. So go to around frame number 120, which is equal to 4 seconds, and click on this diamond button to add a keyframe, or you can also right click on this tracking and click on animate. All right, and then go to very beginning of this animation and set this tracking value maybe 3 and hit enter. And let's play this. All right, so as you can see, we have a very basic and weird animation. So let's make some more interesting animations. So go to a spline window, hit F4 to full screen and check this text 1 and click on this fit button and select these control point or keyframe and hit S on the keyboard to smooth, or you can also click on this smooth button and then set this CTI at this point and hold this handle and create a curve like that, and hold this handle also and set it like that and create a curve something like this, and hit F4 again and close this spline window. And let's play this again. So as you can see, we have a very smooth animation. All right, now drag this text in this viewer 2 and click on this single viewer and hold Control and scroll up to zoom in and set it like that, and select this text and go to this shading option and go to properties and change this type solid to gradient and set this gradient and make this a 3D looking text. So just select this point and select a pure white color and add another point in center like that, and set this center point color maybe dark gray, and add another point over here and over here also and set it like that, and hold this point also and make it dark gray and set it like that. Alright, so it's looking like a glossy text, and now let's create a duplicate of this text one. So select this, hit Ctrl C to copy and paste it over here by pressing Ctrl V, and let's call it text2 by hitting F2 on the keyboard, and let's rename it to text2 and hit OK. And let's merge these both text. So we have to take a 2D merge, so click on this merge button and let's connect this yellow background point with this text 1 and green foreground point with this text 2, and drag this merge to this viewer. And now go to around 120 frame where we have created a keyframe and select this text 1 and go to text and change this tracking value. So I'm going to set this 0.99 and hit enter, and go to very beginning of this animation where we have created another keyframe and change this value to 2.99 and hit enter, and go to around over here and hold Control and scroll up to zoom in, set it like that, and select this text 1 and go to shading again, and let's inverse these colors. So select this point and make it pure dark black, and select this point also and make it black, and set this center point and make it pure white. Okay, and let's play around with these points and create a nice 3D looking text. Alright, so as you can see, it's looking like a 3D text, but this is actually a 2D text. So let's convert this into a 3D layer. So just select this node, place it over here, and let's create a duplicate of this image plane. So hit Ctrl C to copy and paste it over here by pressing Ctrl V, and connect this merge with this image plane 3D, and connect this image plane 3D with this merge 3D, and drag this merge 3D in this viewer 2 and click on this double viewer. All right, and now we have to add some particles over here. So go to your media pool and let's import particle file. So go to import media and select these particle file, which I have downloaded from pixabay.com, and link given in the description. So go to the link and download this particle and click on open, and drag this particle on this flow window and close this media pool and drag this media in this viewer 1, and let's call it particles. So hit F2 on the keyboard and let's rename it to particles. Hit OK. And as you can see, it has a black background. So let's remove this black background. So select this particle, hit Ctrl plus a space bar for search box and search for Luma Keyer. So this is our Luma Keyer node. Hit add button and drag this Luma Keyer to this viewer, and let's change this color to alpha, and as you can see, it's looking something like that. So let's change some values. So select this Luma Keyer and go to this inspector tab and set this gamma to 0 and set this contract expand maybe 1. So as you can see, it's looking much more better. And now change this alpha to color, and let's create another image plane 3D. So hit Ctrl V to paste and connect this Luma Keyer with this image plane 3D, and connect this image plane 3D with this merge 3D, and set this merge 3D over here maybe, and place this camera over here. And as you can see, we have particles over here, and let's import one more thing, lens flare. So go to this media pool and right click on this media pool, click on import media and select this flare. And I have also given a link in the description for this flare, so go to the link and download this flare and click on open. And let's drag this flare on this flow window and hit F2 on the keyboard and let's call it flare. Hit OK and drag this flare in this viewer 1 and close this media pool. Alright, now let's make this 3D. So paste another image plane 3D by hitting Ctrl V and connect this flare with this image plane 3D and connect this image plane 3D with this merge 3D. Alright, so as you can see, we have a lens flare over here. And now let's drag this merge 3D in this viewer 1. Now right click on this and let's enable grid. So go to 3D option and check this grid and right click again, go to camera and change this main cam to perspective view. Alright, and let's rotate it like that. And now we have to create a distance between each layer in GS space. So let's select this image plane of this background node and drag this over here maybe. And let's scale it up and set this orange line outside this frame. So go to this transform and hold control and let's scale it up and set this like that. So set this orange line outside this frame. So hold control and scale it up and set it like that. And now select this image plane of this smoke and drag it in G space and set it over here like that. And let's scale it up and fit this. So go to transform, hold control and scale it up and set this orange line outside this frame like that. And now select this image plane of this light one and set it in GS space, maybe over here. And let's scale it up. So go to transform, hold control and scale it up and set this orange line outside this frame like that. And select this image plane for this light 2 also and set it in GS space over here. And let's scale it up. So go to transform, hold control and scale it up and set this orange line outside this frame. And now select this image plane 3D for this text and set it over here maybe, or set it over here like that. And let's scale it up. So go to this transform and scale it up and select this image plane 3D of these particles. So just set it over here and scale it up. So go to transform, hold control and set this orange line outside this frame. And one last thing we have to do is just select this image plane 3D for this flare and let's set this in G space over here maybe. All right, and go to transform and let's scale it down a bit and set this orange line like that. Okay, so as you can see, it's looking something like that. And now let's remove this black background from this flare. So just select this image plane 3D and go to this material option and here is alpha. So set this alpha value maybe 0.003, hit enter. So as you can see, it's looking something like that. And now select this image plane 3D of this flare and go to this transform and uncheck this XYZ and let's set this X value maybe 1.5 and set this Y maybe 0.25, hit enter and set this flare over here like that. And now let's animate this. So go to the end of this animation and right click on this X, click on animate, or you can also click on this diamond button to add a keyframe on X property and go to very beginning of this animation and set this value to default. Okay, so as you can see, it's looking something like that. And now let's do one more thing. So if you want to change this text, you have to change in text 1 and text 2 both. But we don't have to do this because I'm going to link this text 1 with this text 2. So select this text 1 and let's pin this by clicking on this button. Okay, and select this text 2, and as you can see, here is text 2 parameters. So right click on this style text and click on this expression, and let's parent this with text 1. So pick this speaker point and let's attach this with style text for text 1 like this. Okay, and now we have to change in text 1 and text 2 will be automatically changed. So let's change this. So I'm going to type resolve 16. So as you can see, it's working. And now let's unpin this text 1 and let's animate this camera. So select this camera and go to the end of this animation and go to this transform, and let's create a keyframe on G translation. So click on this to add a keyframe on G translation, and click on this diamond button to add a keyframe on Z rotation also, and then go to very beginning of this animation and let's set this G rotation maybe -30. Hit enter, and now let's set this camera in G space. So select this camera and select this point and drag it over here. So as you can see, we have a very basic animation. So let's create some more interesting animation. So go to spline window, press F4 on the keyboard to full screen, and let's uncheck this text 1 and text 2 and check this G rotation only. So uncheck this G offset and click on this fit button. Oh sorry, uncheck this image plane and click on this fit button. Select this keyframe, click on this smooth button and set this CTI over here and hold this point or handle and set it over here like that, and hold this point also and set it over here like that, and create a curve something like this. And now let's check this G offset and uncheck this G rotation and click on this fit button, select this keyframe, click on this smooth button, hold this handle and create a curve like that, and hold this handle also and set it like that and create a curve something like this. And now hit F4 again and close this spline window, and let's play this. Alright, so it's looking something like this. Now we have to add a render 3D node. So click on this render 3D and let's convert 3D output into 2D. So connect this merge 3D output with this render 3D and drag this render 3D in this viewer. Okay, and click on this fit. Alright, so go to the end of this animation and let's drag this camera over here maybe. Alright, now we have to add a color correction node after this render 3D. So select this and click on this CC button to add a color corrector node, and let's drag this color corrector to this viewer and let's do some color adjustment. So change this menu color to levels and change this RGB levels maybe 0.75, hit enter and go to this blue channel and set this blue channel maybe 1.5, hit enter. So it's looking something like that. And now let's do one more thing. Just select this image plane 3D for light 2 and go to this material, and here is opacity. So set this opacity maybe 0.6 and hit enter, and set this light to 1 image plane 3D and go to this material and set this opacity maybe 0.6. hit enter. So as you can see, it's looking something like that. And now finally we have to connect this main output with this media out. So drag this media out over here and connect this color corrector output with this media out, and then go to your edit tab. And let's create one more thing. We have to create an aspect ratio for cinematic look. So go to timeline, output blanking, and click on this 2.4. And as you can see, our text animation is ready. So click on this loop button and close this inspector tab, and let's increase the size of this preview window, and let's play this again. Alright, so it's looking awesome, and that's it for now guys. I hope you like it. If you like it, then hit the subscribe button and click on the bell icon to get notified when I upload my new videos. So I will see you in next video. Till then, bye bye.